First, you're going to go to AutoCAD through Autodesk. So you'll go into your browser. You will notice that you have on Blackboard an introduction to CAD. So once you're in the course and have completed the syllabus, you can get to the content, go into Introduction to CAD, and you will see there is a PDF for downloading AutoCAD 2019. When you select in your browser, you'll go to www.autodesk.com. Once that has loaded, you can begin to view the software packages. And you will see that there is AutoCAD, Revit, Maya. There are several versions of software available for the students. And you'll see if you keep scrolling down, there's resources, free software for students. But if all you're doing right now is looking to see if your computer will hold that software, you can simply click on the AutoCAD link from that one screen. And on that screen now you'll see where you have an option to view your system's requirements. You click on that link, it'll take you to another page. It'll actually list all of the system requirements. So your memory, your screen cache, and you'll look at it based on your software. For this particular class, if you get 2018 downloaded or 2019 downloaded, that is fine. We currently run 2019 on our college campus. I'm running 2018, and I will go ahead and upgrade to 2019 for this year. Typically, we're about 6 months behind the software. The textbooks are about a year behind the software. So that's why we try to stay kind of right there in that range of somewhere within that 6 months of the software coming out. So if you're going to download 2019, it will show you exactly what you need on your computer system. If you don't have a computer that has this, you can look into purchasing additional upgrade packages, processors. So you will see here recommended 16 gigabytes, recommended display resolution. You have recommended disk space available is 6 gigabytes just to store the software on the system. Sometimes it is quicker to download if you are able to hook up to someone's T1 line. So if you're closer to another community college and you can go on campus, take your laptop and plug in, it's a lot quicker to download. This may take several hours of download time running off of your own home internet system. You have your CPU 64-bit. That's important to know because it will ask you which version you're downloading, if it's 32 or 64, but I think now it's all 64. It has an option for the Apple. However, the screens are extremely different from Windows to Apple, just like Apple is totally different than Windows if you've used one or the other. The videos that I will share will mostly be for Windows because I don't have the Macintosh to work off of, so just be wary. If you have an Apple, there may be a huge learning curve. A lot of my videos will not be specific to that particular computer running system. So then you can go back to the main screen, go back down on the bottom, select on free software for students, which is basically where I was at, and you're going to create an account. And when you create this account, you're going to need your email information all from the school. You're going to be choosing to set this up, then coming back to the screen and signing in. Then you'll basically choose your version, choose your operating system, choose your language, and you'll be ready to download and install the software. Once you've completed that, you're going to go back in, make sure that you have the icon on the screen, select the icon, and it's going to bring you to this first startup window. Now, all the default settings are here. Once it's downloaded to your computer, everyone should be the same. So everyone should have this exact same startup screen. On the screen, just so that you're familiar, there is a place that shows any recent documents, and you can look through the list and you can open them from that list. You also have a location to open files, and that would allow you to browse your computer's file management system. So if you have folders set up and arranged, you can go through and look for your files. We'll talk more about sheets and templates later, and you can look at some of the sample drawings that AutoCAD has already created. But the main thing we want to be able to do is start drawings. Right below that, it has where it says templates, a down arrow, and it lists all the different template styles that AutoCAD has already created. What we want to make sure is that your initial default has an AutoCAD.dwt. And what that means for you is that we're starting a drawing basically in the inch unit. You'll see some others that have 3D, some that say ISO. When you see ISO, that typically means that you are working in a metric unit. So we want to make sure that this is selected, and if you hit Start Drawing, that's going to be the template that's going to be used. So you automatically have inch units set up. Once you get into the drawing screen, we're going to work through learning what the different components of the screen are. We're going to do some individual setups for our screen, do a little bit of customizing so that you can find things easier, put things where you would be logically looking for them as you start getting acquainted with the software.